We got some religious news here from The Hill. Federal judge rules Pennsylvania school district must allow after school Satan club. All right. A school district in Pennsylvania must allow students to convene an after-school Satan club, a federal judge ruled on Monday. In a victory for free speech and religious freedom, a federal court has ruled that the Salson Valley School District must allow the after-school Satan club to meet in its district facilities, the ACLU announced. In a Monday filing issued in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania and shared by the ACLU, a judge found that here, although the Satanic Temple Inc.'s objectors may challenge the sanctity of the controversially named organization, the sanctity of the First Amendment's projections must prevail. The school district must allow the After School Satan Club, which is sponsored by the Satanic Temple, to meet during the school year on 3 previously agreed upon dates, but it won't have to distribute permission slips for the club for students to take home, according to filing. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not a whole lot more to say about that. The whole idea. Now, this article here didn't mention it in detail, but the whole idea is for if you allow one religion to have rights, you got to let all religions have rights, right? So if you allow like an after-school Christian club on campus to allow your use your facilities, then you have to let an after-school Muslim club and Satanic club and any other club, right? And that's to keep the government essentially from mandating a state-sponsored religion, right? I believe in countries like Iran, maybe Saudi Arabia as well. They have the national religion of Islam, and they have laws that are based on the Quran and Islamic beliefs. Completely awful. I would hate to be in one of those places. So the whole idea of this fight here was to make sure that government doesn't favor one religion over another religion. Now, here's the thing. A lot of Christians and maybe non-religious people, they'll see the Satanic Temple. Oh my gosh, Satan, that's so awful. How would you let that happen? And so what happens in some of these situations is the Satanic Temple gets some rights, so they just remove all the rights for everybody because they don't want satanic church, the Satanic Temple, to have rights as well. But here's the thing: the Satanic Temple, first of all, Satan's not real. Okay, so you can't really. Satan's not real, so what are you gonna do about that? But they actually have some pretty good fundamental tenets. Let's look at the fundamental tenets, 7 fundamental tenets of the Satanic Temple, and let's take a look. So there's 7 here. First one should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures, in accordance with reason. Compassion and empathy. I know those are 2 things that are difficult for conservatives to grasp and pretty much are at odds with conservative ideology. But I would think, promoting compassion and empathy and reason is pretty good things to promote. The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. So yeah, some laws, institutions might not be just, and justice is ongoing. So basically, we need to continue to fight for justice. One body is unavoidable, subject to one's own will alone. So that would be the right to abortion, the right to do whatever you want with your body. Not seeing anything I disagree with here. The freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. To willfully and unjustly approach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. So I like this second part here, basically saying you can't you can't encroach on somebody else's freedom. So it's basically, where your freedom ends is where mine begins. You might have the freedom to, you might think you have the freedom to shoot your gun in the air, but when that bullet comes down and hits me in the head, that is going to restrict your so-called freedom to shoot your gun in the air because it can affect my freedom. Perfectly fine. Here, freedoms of others should be respected. Yeah, okay. Including the freedom to offend. That's okay. If you want to offend other people's religion, that's fine. Other people's views, that's fine. I think dumb views should be mocked and made fun of, perfectly fine. I just don't like the wording of this tenet here, because a lot of like edgelords are all about offending people. They're not trying to make a point or try to fight for a law. Their whole stick is offending people, and that's basically a lot of what conservative comedy is being offensive, not to be even comedic, but just to be mean. And that's kind of douchey. I think just being mean to be mean kind of contradicts here with compassion and empathy towards others. That said, I think you should be able to offend and mock things and beliefs that are stupid. Okay. 5. Beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs. Yeah, so the popular phrase, follow the science. Let's look at what the science says to make our decisions. We're going to base our laws and lives and society around science. I like it. People are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might be caused. So basically saying, if you make mistakes, you should have the chance to rectify those mistakes. Last one here. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. Now, I really like this. This is basically saying, compassion, wisdom, and justice should come first, over any of the other tenets or any other beliefs. That's fantastic. I don't really see anything here I disagree with. And I think if most people were given this kind of list of things, I think most people would agree with that. And what I would like to see, a large scale, this will probably never happen, but a large scale like survey that says like, do you agree with this? On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you agree with this? I would like to see that in relation to one's religion, right? And see if one's current religion correlates to any of their opinions on these tenets. And I bet with some of these tenets, such as number 1, one should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason. I think a lot of conservatives and Christians would agree with that one. And 4 here, the freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend, to willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another, to forego one's own. I think a lot of libertarians and conservatives would definitely agree with that tenet. The problem with these, and it's not necessarily the problem with themselves, is the Satanic Temple has a branding, an image problem. So let's just take a look. Well, one, they're called the Satanic Temple. But if you look at their like imagery, it's all like goat horns and like really metal kind of stuff and things like that. And Bahamut, here. And I think this really scares off a lot of people that would otherwise kind of jump on, not the bandwagon, but jump on really believing and promoting these ideals here. And I understand that the Satanic Temples, their imagery and marketing is somewhat to like, offend Christians and kind of, get news stories about them, and things like that. I I think it would be better off to, kind of tone down the visual imagery. But I think here's the thing. But I think if there was another nonprofit group, I'm not going to say religion, but a group with all these same tenets, if they weren't called the Satanic Temple, they would not get probably the amount of press and news coverage that the Satanic Temple gets. Regardless, I think the Satanic Temple, I think they have a lot of good tenets that most people would agree with. And the reason why people do not look at the Satanic Temple and what they believe in is because the name itself and the imagery. So, what I would like to see, not necessarily the Satanic Temple rebrand, but maybe another organization have all the same beliefs, and have it, position itself almost like centrist, so we can get some people that are kind of on the edge. I would like to see that. I think that'd be helpful for the religious freedoms in America and just society as a whole.